Hi guys, and welcome back to the channel. Now, I get asked quite a lot, what would be kind of, if you want to get into automatic watches, but you don't want to spend a fortune, what do you recommend? And my normal go-to is always the Seiko 5 range, because they offer great value, some great designs, and yeah, can't really fault them. But a few of you have commented saying, what about Orient watches? Now, Orient is a brand I've never touched before. Basically, they've been going for almost 75 years now. And I've been lucky enough to get my hands on this one. This is their Mako vintage inspired model. Now, that range for Mako, I think, have been going now for 20 years. And it's kind of their go-to dive watch. And to be fair, it's not a bad looking watch at all. It feels quite nice in the hand. But before I get too far into review, I've got to say a massive thank you to First Class Watches of Kenilworth for allowing me to review this piece. I haven't been working with them long, but I have been amazed how much stock they've got. Literally over 5,000 watches actually in-house. They've got well over 100 something different brands they carry as well. So I'm going to leave a title bar now where you can get in touch with Rowland with his telephone number and email. And in the description, I'll leave a link to their website. All I ask is that if you do contact them, please mention you've seen it on this video. So anyway, what we have here. Sizes. It's got a strange one. It's 41.5 mil I'm measuring by a thickness of 13 mil, a lug to lug 46.3, and a bracelet size of 22 millimeters. Now the dial itself, I think, looks quite nice. It's got this graduated grey effect going out to black there. And I think it gives it quite a nice look. You can see it's kind of got a slight texture to that dial. Now, we do have applied hour markers going around here. They do have a nice bit of polish to them, and they've got a decent amount of lume on there as well, as do these nicely polished hands. The lume overall does seem to be quite strong. I like the fact that you've just got this kind of funky motif up here, which does, is it been applied? It looks like it's been applied. And just a nice little bit, the Orient automatic and a fine script as to the water resistant of 20 bar, as this is a 200 meter diver. Now, this being their vintage inspired, they've gone with this kind of slightly kind of cream off-white finish here to give that kind of vintage look. We have a date window at 3 o'clock there, day date, which has got a nice frame going on to it there. And we do have the minute track, which, is it slightly separate? Yeah, it's separate to the normal dial going there. And overall, it looks really good. It does actually all look to line up nicely as well, which is always something to bear in mind when you're buying watches, you know, of a lower price point, let's say. So anyway, as I say, all that looks quite nice. As we come past that, we actually do have a sapphire crystal on this. Now, that's one advantage I would definitely say over Seiko. They do actually have a sapphire crystal at this price point, which is nice. The bezel itself, it has this kind of unique little feature to it here where it does have this kind of indent going on. The actual insert, I believe, is just an aluminium insert. We do have a slightly different color going around there, and we do have a lume pip. As for the action, let's have a listen. Muted. Is there much back play? There's a little bit back play. Yeah, but not bad. And most importantly, it does actually line up. Even though it doesn't look like it on the camera, let's try and get it in line with the camera. There you go. So it does actually line up. It's quite easy to purchase. You've got very big kind of coin edge or, sorry, not machined in what you call it, section there. And it is quite easy to grab. The actual case itself, we do have this kind of satinized finish, but what is nice, you have this nice chamfer going around the top there, that polished chamfer which comes all the way around. Overall, also the lugs are quite thin, which I personally quite like. That also, I think, is a little bit of a kind of vintage inspired look there, because so many watches have oversized lugs, and this does look quite nice. Crown guards, nice and big. One criticism I would say is the crown feels a little bit too small. Like, if you look there, I would prefer that crown to be like at least a millimetre bigger, at least, maybe even 1.5 mm. It is a screw down crown. You can grip it, so it does do a perfect job of its crown guards there, but I just feel it would be better if it was a tiny little bit bigger, and screws in quite nicely. It goes first time actually, which is quite a nice, you know, sometimes they can be a bit coarse. That one's quite nice. Now on the back, it is a solid screw down case back, but the actual movement is something they call the F6922. I did put it on the time grapher, and to be fair, it did okay. I think it was running around about +4.5, +5 seconds, which is quite decent, really. I've seen a lot worse at this price point and above. It's a 22 joule movement. I think it's been around now for almost 10 years, this movement, so it must be pretty good, I'd presume. It's got 40 hours of power to it. Now, to get that power, you'd have to wind this 30 times manually to get that power. So do be aware, because I get some people who say watches don't always hit their, you know, kind of power reserve target. Now, if you've got a desk job, you're not going to be moving around quite as much as someone who has a more active job. So just because you're wearing it, unless you're actually, it's been on your wrist and you're actually, you know, getting a good amount of steps in, you won't wind it, you know, naturally that way. So if you did want to get to full power, you would have to wind that 30 times to actually get to full power. Now, the bracelet's okay. It's very similar to a lot of the Seiko ones. It's fold over clasp. It is stamped. You do have 4 levels of micro adjustment there. I don't know what the situation is with buying aftermarket bracelets for these. I don't know if you can get them quite as readily as you can with Seiko models from somewhere like Strapcode, but overall the bracelet is not bad. It's all nicely brush finished. I believe I'm not sure if it's split pins or collar system on there, but overall it feels perfectly okay at this price point. Let me put it on my wrist so you got an idea how it looks. Quick wrist check. I'm wearing my Nomos Club Campus, I should say, and Bob has got one of my favourite watches on now. He's got the Larco Spire Epstuck, and I really like that watch a lot. So anyway, my wrist size is 7¼ inches. Let's put this on, see how it looks, and there you go on there. I think it looks quite good actually. It hunkers down quite nicely on the wrist. It doesn't sit too tall. And overall, I think it's not a bad looking watch. But my question would be, would you buy this watch over a Seiko? Because obviously, I know for a fact Seiko own this company. They have done since 2017. But would you get one of these over a Seiko? Let us know in the comments below. All the best, guys. Stay safe. Bye.